Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Shamelessly Opinionated. My name is Nyaga Karanja. And today, dear Mr. President, first and foremost, bravo, well done. Anarchy for the first time in a while in Kenya has ceased. If we were to think back a year ago, this time actually a year ago, and try and imagine what we were going through as a country, we didn't see a way out. We had the boycotting of goods and services. We had instability that's never been seen unless it was prior to 2007. The country was headed in a downhill spiral. But you decided that that's not the sort of legacy, not just as a legacy, that's not the sort of country that you want to live in. That's not the sort of country that you want your kids to live in, and you did the unthinkable. You together with Mr. Honorable Raila Odinga sat down and changed the course of the country. Right now, this country is moving towards development, sir. But I'd like to address one thing. As much as you brought inclusivity and the end towards anarchy in our country, there's something else brewing and breeding. Within your party, the other wing of your party, which is the former URP, you're pushing it farther and farther away. And what we're going to start seeing in no time is hostility. My advice to you, Mr. President, is for you to sit down and structure in a way that forget the politics of 2022, how you can both bring in Ruto and Raila, how you can bring in everybody, Musalia and Wetangula, and make sure that this country moves in the right direction. Dear Mr. Ruto, sir, Deputy President, sir, great job thus far. 2013, Uhuru could not have asked for a better, I'll call him friend, not even deputy, as much as you are his deputy. But right now, sir, it's time to also focus on what's important, development. I do understand that 2022 is coming up and it's your neck on the line, it's you versus the rest of them. But sir, the reason people voted for Jubilee was because of how hard you work. We call you hustler for a reason, and we need you to keep hustling right now. I understand that you may not understand what happened within the room during that handshake between the President and His Excellency, Raila, but you need to up your game right now. Bring them in, let's develop Kenya, and I promise you, you will get what's coming to you. And I have a feeling it's presidency. Dear Mr. Raila Odinga, sir, Your Excellency, first and foremost, bravo for bringing the country together once again. We really do appreciate it. You are the most seasoned politician Kenya has ever seen, and when you play chess, you make it look like the rest are playing checkers. I applaud what you and the President did on 9th of March, but I have two reservations, sir. Baba, while you're away, there was mercury in our sugar. Baba, while you were away, the judiciary's budget got slashed. Baba, we need you to come back. We're not asking you to come back with the whole boycott mentality. We're just asking you to come back and restore unity and sanity within this great nation. My challenge to you is maintain the handshake, but kindly come back for the sake of sanity. People are getting away with too much. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about at the Unity Pact. The second thing I want to talk about is basically the separation of powers. With regard to the separation of powers, we have the judiciary, the executive, and parliament. I want to focus solely on the judiciary. The independence of the judiciary as an arm of government is something that's very paramount to the stability of this country, for justice and delivery of services to people of this nation. I believe that last year, a statement that was said and that was blown out of proportion, we shall revisit, is having its impact right now, and it's very, very, not contradictory, but it's very, very paramount to the development of this country. What we have right now is a budget where the judiciary's budget has been slashed by almost half, and that's something that we need to address. Ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you of the scenario that we live in. We live in a scenario where it's okay for MPs, members of parliament, for them to increase their salaries, and on the flip side, for the judiciary salaries to be reduced. I'd like to pose a question to each and every one of you. When you're in that dock, or somebody or a family member of yours is in that dock, what do you want to win the day? Justice? Service delivery? Or do you want any other angry sycophant at the back of that bench ruling against you or for you based on their surname, based on where you come from? This thing that we're actually trying to give rise to right now needs to be slashed, and needs to be slashed right now. That's the second thing I wanted to talk to, judicial independence. The third thing I'm going to talk about is corruption, but I'm not going to go too broad into it. just a few pointers and words of advice. One, we just seen the sugar report has just come out in Parliament, and as it stands, we have just been advised that yes, it was doctored. How do we have a doctored sugar report? Who is behind this doctoring of the sugar report? Here's my 2 cents. A lot of cabinet secretaries involved. I'm not going to name any names. There are a lot of members of parliament involved. I'm not going to name any names. Mr. President, sir, I ask you to intervene right now. I ask you to be hard on the DCI, the newly appointed DCI, who you had so much confidence in, the newly appointed DPP, who you had so much confidence in. And I heed you to whip together your party in parliament and in Senate to ensure that this scandal, this rot that's come in with this new scandal, can be cleaned up as fast as possible. Sir, lock them up. Sir, be unafraid. That is what your legacy is going to be. You can develop this whole country, sir, but if there is corruption, your legacy shall not be as strong. Kindly, sir, lock them up. That's my 2 cents. I keep adhering to each and every youth. Get ready, our time is coming, second liberation is coming, 2022. Hello viewers, tune in every Tuesday to Shamelessly Opinionated, where you can see me, the cool cat, along with my other colleagues, talk about matters that affect you. No credit again, just forget it, yeah?